across the border at St Columb's College in Derry, first elected to the council in June last year.
Now that Courtaulds has come, and when you study the town plan, you can see, first of all, that the schools that we have will be adequate to deal with the great influx of new pupils. We have 4 primary schools, very good ones. The post-primary schools, or the college and the convent, are extremely good. They have a national reputation. And the technological college, due to the foresight of local people, will be able to help cater for the workers in Courtaulds.
Chairman, on a point of order, Mr Halpin was talking about the education facilities. He ignored the technical school up there that is one of the best schools in this county and has produced some excellent pupils, and they hold down very good positions all over the world. And I resent Mr Halpin singling out St Unior's College and Loreto Convent and ignoring the tech. I resent that very much.
Mr Chairman, if Councillor O'Donnell had paused a moment, I was going to give a special mention to the vocational school. But now that he has so adequately done so, I shall move on. One thing in the infrastructure that I think the town lacks is a community centre. Over the past few years, a small committee has been trying to get money together to build one. We suffered a great blow last year when the present government cut amenity grants to Donegal. I think for the whole county we're going to get £10,000. Just when we needed it most with Courtaulds, we're going to get less than we need. The present committee have done great work in my view. They have bought a site of 4.5 acres. The Minister will reply to the County Manager's request to hand over this strip of land to the community centre. We can then apply to the EEC Social Fund in the hope that we will get some help from them. And if this regional idea goes through that the Fianna Fáil and the Gaulets have been pushing last week, if that area idea goes through, we should get a very good development fund from them for our community centre. Thank you, Mr Chairman.
During my time on the council,
Sean O'Donnell, Sinn Féin Gardiner Street, first elected in 1971 at the age of 21, has organised housing and fishery protests, helped to organise the anti-EEC lobby in Donegal.
I find that despite the fact many councillors comes up with very good ideas, there's many motions passed and very good resolutions, we find that there's a lack of money. And for this reason, I find that if we're going to implement a good plan and an efficient plan, there must be some type of a new system of money, of getting money into the hands of local government. Well, this system is obviously not good enough whenever you have 86 or 96 people rather applying for 18 houses. There's definitely a scarcity of houses, and there has to be a new system of raising money for it. Some councillors have welcomed the fact that private developers have come in and developed sites, but I think we cannot get away from the fact that these developers is coming into the town where they're to be welcomed. Their main purpose, like anyone who invests money, is to make profit. And we would be falling down on our obligation to the people of Letterkenny if we were to leave young married couples to the mercy of these speculators. And I personally don't see either this council or any other council, nor indeed the government or the people of this country, getting into a comfortable position while we're left at the mercy of private banking companies who are charging, to say the least, unmerciful interest rates on money. And a lot of the problem that we are faced here at local level with the council and individuals is national problems, and they have to be tackled by national governments.
It's not difficult to get money for housing.
Well, if it's not difficult, Mr Manager, you should have got a lot more money for housing in Letterkenny over the past years.
We were fortunate that we had an IDA office in Lifford. And I'm sure even Councillor Dorian will acknowledge that the decision to locate that office in Donegal was a very wise one, and that we should be grateful to Mr. George Colley for making that decision. There is a grave danger with the industrialisation of Letterkenny.
Bernard McGlinchey, Fianna Fáil senator, elected with the highest vote ever recorded in an urban election in Donegal, Letterkenny's most prominent political figure, who successfully survived the split with Neil Blaney.
That we may not be in a position to provide the proper social amenities that will be essential in the time to come. I felt that Councillor Dorian was somewhat pessimistic in his outlook. Well, I feel that we can have both if we do our work properly and if we plan it properly. Because the young people who grew up with me in Letterkenny failed to get work here because of the lack of industry, and they are now enjoying the quality of life in Camden Town, Birmingham and Glasgow.
Could I
Always.
Mr. Chairman, one point.
Right, go ahead, it's all right.
No, I have a couple of points I want to put to the manager, so I'll yield.
I fail to see why we should be talking about a port at Rathmullen. That port was built there, and to my mind, it was a white elephant and never should have been put there. We have a grand little port down here at the Thorn, capable of taking, pardon me, I never interrupt anybody, capable of taking 1,000 tons. And I don't see why we should go out advocating for other areas. We are elected by the people of Letterkenny, for Letterkenny, and to develop Letterkenny, and let Rathmullen develop itself. That's my theory about that. We have a port out there. If we can do anything to help the private owners to develop it as a thriving, going concern, why not do it? We are a Letterkenny community, not a Rathmullen community.
I don't like to accuse Councillor O'Donnell of parochialism, but obviously he hasn't read this report because, you know, and the first or second chapter there, that we're not, this report doesn't deal mainly with Letterkenny, it deals with Letterkenny and the hinterland. And we mustn't be parochial and small-minded, we must look around us. In the existing post-primary schools in the town at the moment, there's duplication. What I'm saying is the core subjects must of necessity be taken because of the scarcity of teachers as a result of the pupil-teacher ratio. The subjects taken for the Leaving Certificate in the Technical College are pretty well the same as the subjects taken for the Leaving Certificate in the other post-primary schools in the town. What I'm saying is that the children of the town, the children of the country, are not getting technical education, and that the majority of our schools, because of the system, are not turning out skilled labour at all. And these remarks, of which I'll have much more to say later on, not tonight, also apply, I'm afraid, at the moment to the courses being carried out in the Regional Technical College. I think we should look much more into. Our VEC members would be doing a far better job if they spent more time with questions of this nature than did in criticising teachers who try and, you know, against all the odds do a good job.
Chairman, before Mr. Doring was heard about, I was a member of the VEC. And 19... I'm going to talk, I'm going to say, have my say, I'm going to have my say, I'm going to have my say, and that's all about it. Before Councillor Doran was heard about, I was in the VEC fighting this same battle that he's talking about. Fighting the same battle that he's talking about. I fought it before, I'm still fighting it.
Chairman, I have the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Justice will prevail. The Minister for Education, Mr. Burke, he has ideas of his own. But I'll give him credit for one thing, the man is amenable to change. He has changed a few things. After all, he's downgraded the Irish language to a secondary status at this stage. But there are a few good things in his favour as well, which I won't refer to here. That's one point. That's one point, Mr. Manager. Page 41E. I know I skipped that one.
If the technical schools are not getting a fair crack of the whip, from the department, it is not the fault of the VECs all over the country. They are fighting a lone battle, and seemingly the department's attitude is to phase out technical education altogether. And this was a result of the intervention of the clergy and taking over the schools in this country.
I must object to that, Chairman. That's all wrong.
It's just not. It's just. And you can object away. I have a long history and about this. I'm 40 years at this. I know all about it. And as a result, that a secondary school can go up to the department and get whatever the hell they want.
Nonsense.
And we cannot get anything for our techs. We can't even get an extension to the tech in Ballymafey. Yet the Reverend Mother can go up there and get whatever she wants. We can't get an extension to the school in Donegal town. We can't get a school in Dunlow, and it's not our fault. I have the facts. I have the facts. Just at today's meeting, there's a community school in Gweedore, and we were promised a tech for Dunlow. Who are you trying to tell?
County Manager, to conclude.
Chairman and Councillors, I don't want to go over all of the ground that has already been adequately covered, but we've got some useful notes as a result of the discussion. There are just one or two pieces of information I can add. First of all, about the boundary extension, you have requested that the planning team should advise you about the boundary extension. It's not by any means an easy problem to handle, because if you extend the boundary too wide, you will be involving yourselves in very, very serious obligations. You're not bound to anything yet. I mean, you've asked that a boundary extension be considered and that a report be submitted to you on it.
I still think that this council and councils of its size will be abolished. I've no doubt about it. We're talking about 5 years from now. We'll be gone 5 years from now if we don't extend the boundary. No matter what.
I think we did agree when we discussed the extension of the town plan that if Courthalls was brought within the urban area, that we would be saddled with a very heavy financial responsibility in the repaying of loan charges for the water and sewerage.
I think they're all the points, apart from the suggestions which the Town Clerk and I have made note of, and which will be of considerable use to the planning people when they're preparing a document to put before you. But if I've left out anything, well, if you shout, I'll...
Mr. Chairman, does the manager not think it worth his while to talk about the airport? I've been trying to get in. Do you not think that with the movement of the advance of Courthalls and the business that an airstrip would be really necessary in Letterkenny?
Well, there's no obviously
more interested in providing an airstrip at Lifford, the Wayside Village of Lifford.
Well, obviously there's no possibility of providing an airport in Letterkenny, no more than there's any possibility of providing an airport in Lifford. And I can't say a whole lot more about it. If the people who are promoting the airport near us have got a licence, good luck to them. The County Council, on the other hand, has been endeavouring to interest the government in providing a bigger airport, an airport that could be developed to the size of, say, Cork Airport, if the traffic warrants it. It doesn't warrant it at the moment, and it would be very stupid for anyone to build an airport of that size. But if the right site is selected and a start can be made with a landing strip, and that landing strip can be developed to a full-size airport when the time comes, and if the time comes, that's where it should be sited. And the County Council is endeavouring to have that done, and their decision is based on the advice that they've got that the only place in Donegal where such an airport could be constructed is in the Port Hall area.
One point on that. Well, the people who are trying to develop the present one must certainly have got a licence. They're able to land. They're landing there. The other point is which the manager made, that Port Hall has been more suitable because it's near Derry and near the band. The site, the strip that Councillor Patsy O'Donnell is talking about, the one that we know of, is nearer to Derry than the one in Port Hall would be. Much nearer.
I think you missed the point.
No, I don't think so. No, you talked about Derry and Strabane,
yeah.
And but the strip down at Stevenson's would be nearer to Derry than would the one at Port Hall. Well, how far would it be from Derry to Port Hall?
Lifford is 14
right.
miles, and Port Hall is 5 miles from Lifford, 9 or 10 miles.
So you're going into about 22 or 23 mile. I would say it's 20 mile to Derry City from Stevenson's Field.
9 or 10 miles from Port Hall to Derry.
To Derry? What way do you travel?
14 from there.
You must fly, manager. Sure. How far is it from Strabane to Derry?
From Lifford it's 14.
To Derry? Yeah. And it's another 5 or 6 out to Porthall?
On the same way.
Yeah.
Porthall is between Derry and Strabane. Between Derry and Lifford. 5 miles to Porthall, another 9 miles to Derry.
Travelling through?
Carrigan, St. John's
and Carrigan. Sure, you're on there about 20 miles an hour. That's 20 miles from Derry.
Apropos of the possible abolition of Letterkenny, I think from the planning point of view we should go ahead as if we were going to remain in existence forever.